Hello! What's up? Sparrow. Has anyone seen my marbles?
Chris Wood here, and to me, he's still Dr. Robotnik.
Hey everyone, this is Aldo, and I just want everyone to know that my body is ready.
And you're plugged into the official podcast of Empire State Gamer.
Welcome, one and all, to the ESGamer Station, episode number 2. We're back, bitches! This is Chris Wood. I'm one of the writers for Empire State Gamer. Thank you so much for joining us for our second episode. I'm joined, as always, by the lovely and talented Jordan EliRey.
What's up?
He's a man of very few words, folks, and that'll do us very well in this podcast. You're currently listening to Groove On by Ambient off of the game Streets of Rage. You can find that at Overclocked Remix. And for our second episode, we are joined by a special guest. This is co-writer for Empire State Gamer, Aldo... sorry about this, but I can't pronounce your
last name. Let's keep this moving.
Double A.
Okay. There you go. That sounds good.
Aldo Double A.
To the point.
Yes.
It's easy to remember.
Yeah, Aldo Double A, and this is we are less than 1 minute into the show, and I've already got one of these.
Fail. Ouch. It's all good, Chris. I mean, it's happened my whole life, so it doesn't even faze me anymore. It's all good.
It's whatever, man.
Just
body's
call
ready.
My body is ready, of course. Just call me Aldo, and
all
we're
right.
good to go.
Your last name is hard to pronounce, but at least it isn't something that could be morphed into a dirty joke.
Yeah, I mean, long story short, I guess if you were to say it in English, it would be Araujo.
Oh, that's funny.
Araujo. But in Spanish, we pronounce it a little different, so it would be Araujo. But again, I'm not expecting you to say that, so...
Sounds like a Goya ingredient to me.
Adobo, Araujo, yeah, it could be either or,
Hell yeah.
I'm just going to call you the other guy.
The other guy.
Okay, there's a lot of a gaming news we can get into, so let's just launch right into it because the clock is ticking. The first story up, this is kind of like a big deal. Electronic Arts has purchased PopCap Games. They are the makers of a mobile and social games like Bejeweled and Plants vs. Zombies, one of my personal favorites, to the tune of $750 million, which I will say is more than I have on me. $750 million for this one gaming company, and they were expected to file for an IPO recently. So, this is yet another company that Electronic Arts has just gobbled right up.
Yeah, I was very surprised by how much PopCap is worth, considering the makers of Mass Effect, I forget their name, they bought them not too long ago for over $800 million. So I was really surprised that a casual gaming company would be worth almost as much as a real developer company.
Yeah, but this is, of course, like most people wouldn't pay that much for, people that would make a few iPhone games and, as a hobbyist. But this is, of course, PopCap. They make Plants vs. effing Zombies. This is the...
Not a fan.
Don't you be dissing my Plants vs. Zombies, sir.
I'm not. I'm just saying I'm not a fan. That's not a diss. That's I'm just expressing my feelings.
All right. I can see that. There's no law against that yet. So anyways, PopCap, this is what I thought was interesting about this. PopCap was expected to file for an IPO recently, and for those of you who don't watch Bloomberg TV or anything, an IPO is an initial public offering, and what they do is they'd go public, and they would sell stock, and they would, I think that they were trying to raise, or they were estimated to raise about $1 billion in sales of their stock. So either this was a gigantic red herring, or the analysts were way off of the mark on this one, and they were never trying to raise an IPO, or the people at PopCap woke up one day and there's a big email sitting in everybody's folders saying, "I for one salute our new EA overlords."
If somebody offered me $750 million, I would take it. That's for sure.
I think most people would. $750 million is a not chump change.
Not by a long shot. That's almost Bill Gates money.
Yeah, close. But now, what do you think this? Well, and now like Electronic Arts is one of those companies that just keeps buying up all these smaller companies and putting their label on them, almost like Walt Disney does in the film industry. So, do you think that they're going to try and impose some of their business practices on PopCap? Is there going to be, a special online multiplayer Plants vs. Zombies you have to pay for, or is it kind of like Walt Disney buying Marvel and they really don't want to get involved in the controlling of, or they don't want to get involved in the controlling of the day-to-day operation of PopCap. They just want a cut of the PopCap's money.
I don't know. In the past, EA has gone either way depending on the situation. Like with Crysis 2, I don't know if they bought Crytek or they just published Crysis 2. They just let them do whatever they wanted with that. And in regards to Mass Effect, when they bought BioWare out, they implemented their version of Project $10 into that game. So I don't know. It could go either way with them.
And of course, everybody on the internet is making the jokes about what the crossovers might be. Madden versus Zombies. Who knows?
I'd buy that.
Boom!
Yeah, I kind of made a joke about it on Twitter. I think I said something along the lines of, the next Bejeweled will be, exclusive to people who pre-order Madden 12 or something along that line. It's kind of a joke when you say it, but at the same time, EA, they've done ridiculous things in the past, so, it's only time will tell to see if they'll be nice and let PopCap do their thing as an independent entity, but at the same time, they may just, slap their practices on there, and people will be pissed.
Yeah, and the last thought on this is, you're going for obviously PopCap is one of the bigger companies involved in the social gaming scene, or not even the social gaming scene, but the mobile gaming and the casual gaming scene. But did they not hear about a little game called Angry Birds?
Oh yes, I've heard of that one.
Yeah. Like, why not go for the big one? Because like Plants vs. Zombies had its moment, and it's a good game, and people still love it. But it's nowhere near as popular as Angry Birds is, and Angry Birds is just steamrolling past everybody else. So I don't get what the strategy is. It's either Rovio flat out refused to be sold, or their strategy was, all right, we'll buy a smaller company or a company that's not as high up on the food chain, but have produced quality titles consistently. So we will get quality games further on down the line, I guess.
I mean,
maybe they're.
I'm sorry, Jordan. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go on.
I was just going to say I was reading some tidbits on Twitter. Some people were saying that the creators of Angry Birds didn't want to be sold to EA. I think EA had given them a bid. I'm not sure on the specifics on it, but they essentially shunned them off and saying that, we're going to stay independent.
We defy you, sir. You shall not have our eggs.
And besides, they might plan to make Happy Birds, in response to them.
Oh, that would be the worst game ever. Electronic Arts, Happy Birds. They just fly around. They don't really do much. La 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 la.
They play hide and go seek for like 3 hours. That's the game. And tea time.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I've never played Angry Birds.
Whoa.
What? Don't you
fact.
have a mobile device?
I do, but what's funny is I buy these ridiculously expensive smartphones, but I don't buy them for the apps, which is, again, completely contradictory to most people. But
so wait a minute. You buy a phone for the phone?
Yes, I know it's a crazy concept.
I don't understand this concept.
I don't have an iPod. But I have a Nokia, which is
a
NA.
Nokia. They still make phones.
Oh yes, they do. I'm a Symbian fan. But yeah,
I thought they went out of business with the N-Gage.
Oh no. They're working with Windows Phone now. But yeah, I'm that guy. That guy is still holding on to the dream.
I'm uncomfortable now.
There is one person on the face of the earth that has not played Angry Birds. There is one.
I have like 3 versions of Angry Birds on my phone right now.
There can
Want me to email you one?
Well, if you want to donate, by all means, you know.
Yeah, I got the spring version. I got the real version. I got the regular version. I like the real version best, though. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, me too. But as Steppenwolf sang, God damn, the Pusher Man.
Ouch. Yeah.
I don't get this reference.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, Steppenwolf is the band who did the song "Born to Be Wild." You know, good times.
If it's not reggaeton, then I don't know about it.
Oh.
And on that note, we've got moving along, like trying to physically force this conversation back onto a track. Speaking of Electronic Arts, they are killing off a bunch of their online games soon. Reports are coming in that their servers will be shutting down Army of Two, Battlefield 2, Modern Combat 3, Skate, bunch of sports titles like NASCAR and NCAA.
And Madden 10 as well.
Oh, really?
Madden 10, yes. Madden 10, the game that I just bought like 3 days ago, will no longer have multiplayer support. Yay!
Here's a game you can't play online anymore, Al. Boom!
Yep.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Well, it used
Until
to be.
we turn it off.
It used to be in the game, but we took it out because we're cheap.
Here's your server. Boom!
Yeah, man, I don't understand why they're doing this, you know.
Well, I mean, games online cannot run forever. Every now and then you just have to turn them off because, I mean, imagine what it would be like if they were still supporting online multiplayer for, say, crap. I'm trying to like the first
crap?
game.
They came out with crap, and they're no longer supporting it.
Yes, it was on the Nintendo GameCube.
Oh, that's cold.
You can write all fan hate mail to Chris at EmpireStateGamer.com.
Yes, I will accept all of your hate. The first game that came to mind was like Star Wars Rogue Squadron, but that didn't support the multiplayer as far as I can know. But like, what's some of those old ass Dreamcast games that had online multiplayer?
Well, you had I think there was
Power Stone.
No, Power Stone wasn't online. You had Phantasy Star Online. You had NFL 2K, NBA 2K, NHL 2K.
Dead or Alive, I think had online.
Not in America. I think there was one in Japan that had it, but not here. There were only a few. There was another Alien Extinction, I think it was called.
Maybe.
That had online, came with a mic and all that.
Yeah, but what about Kiss, Psycho Circus?
Oh Lord! Yeah, don't. Yeah. Welcome to the show, all right.
And I say, welcome to the show. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, horrible game. Don't even bring it up, man. Don't even bring it up.
I think I'm going to be playing Kiss music all the way underneath this, and then Gene Simmons will sue my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if there's a game on there you really enjoyed, our condolences. You'll have to find something else to play as far as multiplayer goes soon. But then when I look through a few of them, some of them aren't that old. I could understand turning off support for a game that's 5 years old, like they did with Halo. But Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2010, that's only 2 years old. Somebody probably just bought a game off of GameStop that's that old. And what would happen if the multiplayer just turned right off? But then again, this is Electronic Arts we are talking about. This is the same company that puts out a new Madden every single year and asks you to pay full retail price because you're just conditioned to do so.
Which is what the majority of people do, unfortunately, as it is. I know Jordan just said he bought Madden 10.
Yes.
I don't know if he bought the other ones prior to that, but
2 years late. That's usually my strategy.
Yeah, because it's only $10.
The bargain bin. $5.
Another $5 game.
Yes.
You have to tell me where the hell you shop.
I shop everywhere, man. Wherever they have $5 games, that's where I go.
I shop everywhere, man.
But yeah, man, in light of this news, like Xbox should like give a discount to people who have these games in regards to their Xbox Live service. It's like, what are we paying for if these games are just no longer going to be supported after you buy them? I just don't understand. Where is my Xbox Live money going to? That's what I want to know.
Well, the funny thing about that is, from what I understand, I know when EA decided to jump on the Xbox Live, bandwagon back in the old Xbox days, I guess they had signed some kind of clause that made them one of the only, if not the only company, where they handled their own servers internally. Whereas every other game on the Xbox Live service is hosted by Microsoft servers. EA, obviously with Madden, Tiger Woods, and all that, they're all hosted by EA's own internal servers. So as a result, it's up to EA, and they have the final say whether or not they can shut them down. They don't need to notify Microsoft about that. They just do it essentially whenever the hell they want. And again, there's nothing Microsoft can do about it because of this specific clause they had that gives EA control over that. So it's kind of out of Microsoft's hands, so to speak.
And I think Sony's the same way. But then again, Sony, they have enough problems with their multiplayer. They don't have to worry about people taking games off of the multiplayer.
You got to worry about folks taking all of them offline.
Yes.
Well, in light of this news, I will no longer be buying EA games.
Ooh. So what?
Oh.
But then again, you only buy them when they're $5 and 2 years old. So I think that they would be okay losing you as a customer.
Hey, $5 is a lot of money, man. You know how many things from the McDonald's dollar menu you can get with $5? Take a guess.
5.
Yes.
Now, actually, now that you mention that, in New York, your dollar menu is extremely limited compared to what we have here in Connecticut. So I can actually buy more stuff for $5 than you can. So, boom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Well, Burger King is better anyway, so, yeah. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Plus, we have New York pizza. You don't have New York pizza in Connecticut. Wait a minute. Why is this guy from Connecticut on a New York podcast?
Because technically he counts.
I do. We're in the tri-state area,
All right. Once again,
I should walk out and protest. I'm offended.
Oh man.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Xbox 360.
Yes. Yeah. Moving on. The Xbox 360. That there's a rumor that buried deep within the code within Windows 8, it gives mention to the Xbox 360, which some people are taking as saying that saying that PCs running Windows 8 will be able to play Xbox Live games natively, or they'd be able to play Xbox 360 games natively.
Yes, I am very excited of this prospect.
It's kind of odd because the operating system within the Xbox 360 it's kind of Windows-esque, but it isn't Windows. It is kind of like how it's kind of like how with the iPhone, because Apple makes both iPhone and Mac OS X, but they aren't cross-compatible. You can't play Angry Birds on a PC unless you buy one that was written for the PC. So I don't know how they are technically able to take a game that is meant to run on the Xbox 360 and sort of work it around and put it on hardware that in no way resembles an Xbox 360.
Well, they may be able. Maybe they invented some sort of dual boot technology.
Maybe
into Windows 8. It is all their own stuff, so I wouldn't think they would not be able to do something like this.
All right. Now, I don't mean to just get on top of this rumor and just ground and pound it. Oh, and by the way, I know a little bit about computers, but I don't know a whole lot, which is why I'm running a Macintosh right now. So if I'm totally talking out of my ass, please tell me. But with the Xbox 360, Microsoft make both the hardware and the software. It's all in-house. But with PCs, Microsoft make just the software, the operating system. The hardware is made by Acer, Alienware, HP, and the two sides don't often talk to each other. So unless they make a Transformer PC that can do both, I don't know how this could be technically possible.
Yeah, I don't think it's, I think Microsoft would be capable of doing a partnership with Alienware or something like that to get this to the mass market.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just Alienware or because, thinking like Microsoft, they'd want it to be available to everybody. And we don't know what Microsoft has up their skirt, so it could just be...
And it's just a rumor, too, so it's not even confirmed yet.
Yeah, that is true. So once again, take this with a monumental grain of salt. Could all be total BS. But for the sake of argument, let's take this at total face value. Let's say it's absolutely true that with certain PCs, you can buy any off-of-the-shelf Xbox 360 game and run it on the PC. What does this mean? Does it mean fewer Xbox sales, higher PC sales? Will anybody care? What's the end game on this one?
Well, in PC terms, I'm going to go back to that typical stereotype of the PC elitist. Usually, if you have a gaming-ready PC, something that you invested a lot of money on, you're probably not going to be playing too many console games as is. You're really going to stick to the PC version. Because, again, quite frankly, let's just take, for example, a cross-platform game, say BioShock 2, which was released on both, Xbox 360 and PC. On the PC version, you're obviously, if you have a good enough rig, you're going to get a vastly superior, graphical, visual, audio experience than you would on the console. So in that regard, I don't think it's really going to be a big deal for PC gamers. It would be nice for maybe, that couple of exclusive titles, Halo or what have you.
Yeah.
But for the majority of games that come cross-platform anyways, on Games for Windows Live, the people are just going to stick with the PC version if they have a capable enough PC. But yeah, again, it's an interesting rumor. It kind of leads credence to another development that happened recently where Microsoft is kind of killing off the Games for Windows Live marketplace. They integrated it recently with the Xbox.com website, and it's kind of just thrown in there like an afterthought. So maybe that is kind of leading into this, that Microsoft is probably going to revamp the entire service in some big way. And, what bigger way, I guess, than to have full Xbox 360 compatibility on your PC from the get-go.
Yeah. But now follow me on this one. I would think that Microsoft, one thing that they would want is to have their game brand be totally ubiquitous and to get the Games for Windows crowd and the Xbox Live crowd talking to each other. So maybe this has to do with opening it up so that people on the PC can play against the Xbox Live people, just like with the PlayStation 3, and they can work with Steam on certain games. So perhaps, take a game like BioShock 2 that was released on all platform. One person buys it on the PC, one person on the Xbox 360. They could probably play multiplayer against each other.
I don't think that's going to happen because they did an experiment not too long ago. I forget who, where they put console gamers against mouse and keyboard, PC gamers against each other in a game of Call of Duty, and 9 times out of 10, the PC gamers creamed the console gamers, and what the research found was, the mouse and keyboard will always be superior to console gamers because they grab average PC gamers and put them against the top, console gamers that they could find, and they were just, basically molested, in the trials. So I think, if they were to do something like that, it'll be for only chatting, capabilities, something like that, or maybe, for co-op gameplay like Army of Two, Portal, something like that. But I doubt that they're gonna do any kind of multiplayer matchmaking for something like that.
Quit touching my junk, pervert!
Yes, they were molested or raped. That's the more common phrase nowadays.
Oh.
Oh, no, you
Oh, man. Actually, just quickly to add to that, you were mentioning before, there actually was a game that Microsoft created, which was both 360 and PC.
Oh yeah, Shadowrun.
Shadowrun, yeah. Which didn't sell too hot. Again, it was based off of, I think, a role-playing franchise before, but the game itself kind of butchered everything and didn't quite work out. But the intent was there. I mean, it was cross-compatible, but I'm sure they probably cut it off after a while since nobody played it. It did happen.
Mhm.
So, I mean, again, if it happened before, it can happen again, you know?
Yeah, it's all possible.
Yep.
And I would love to be able to take my laptop somewhere and be able to play 360 games. That would be great.
Yeah, you might be able to soon, because every now and then I look on a tech blog like a Gizmodo or an Engadget or something like that, and I see some industrious young fellow has taken their Xbox 360, cracked it open like a walnut, and morphed it into a laptop, and it's a functioning laptop. And I think to myself whenever I see that, please don't let this guy get his hand on anything dangerous. Like, that's some mad scientist crap going on there. All right, so moving along, we're going into PlayStation territory here, moving off of Microsoft right into Sony. There's a thing here on the PlayStation blog where PlayStation Network is that they are set to invest $20 million in exclusive games for the PlayStation Network. Kind of like, they want to get some exclusive downloadable titles for their network. There are games like Joe Danger and Flower and the Pixel Junk, and they just want more of them.
I am all for this initiative.
Yeah, basically, and it's obviously not bigger, AAA titles like Infamous 2 or even Metal Gear Solid. Like, this is more of like the independent market, and that's where we see some of the really big creativity is in the independent market, making smaller games that don't have to deal with story or voice acting and things like that, and they can just concentrate on being a really awesome game experience.
Yes.
So yeah, they're basically trying to bring more people onto the PlayStation Network with some exclusive downloadable games, and $20 million is a lot to be investing in something like that.
Hell yeah, they better invest some of that into Dead Nation 2. I love that game.
Well. I'm thinking about Dead Island. That's a totally different game.
Oh no, that's something different. Dead Nation is a top-down shooter in the vein of Smash TV, but you're like shooting zombies out in the streets.
Right. And one might ask, where are they getting $20 million? Well, it's off of all those Blu-ray player sales, but also because Sony's Welcome Back program has spurred sales of their downloadable titles. Everybody knows that when Sony's PlayStation Network came back online, they had to give a little bit of an incentive for people to trust them. And they gave away some free titles, like, what was it, A Little Big Planet and Infamous. Those were some of the titles given away, obviously, because they had sequels that were right around the corner. They thought, if we give away these earlier games, people might buy the brand new games. And it turns out that it worked. See if I've got some hard numbers here, because I'm reading this off of Joystick.
It wasn't sales that the article was talking about. It was searches that were raised after the Welcome Back program put those games up for free.
So it was the interest. The interest,
yeah. The interest in the sequels were raised, potentially giving those sequels more sales. But those numbers but the numbers haven't come out yet if indeed those sales were actually made. But awareness was indeed raised with this program.
Yeah. It's funny because the title on joystick article says that it spurred download sales, yet I'm looking into the article and it said that downloadable titles jumped from 13%, which was in March, up to 17% in June after the PlayStation Network came back online. And they're saying, that Sony gave away some free titles, so therefore people downloaded them, ergo raising the download numbers. So I guess they are hoping for bigger sales because people are more aware of the sequels that are out. Also, wow, this is kind of Sony heavy. I'm going to move on. Come on, Google Chrome.
And I'm very excited if it did spur sales for the sequels because, in the future, more gaming companies might look at this data and say, hey, we have a sequel coming up. The game's just been sitting there stagnant, not making much sales. Let's put it up for free, as advertising for the next sequel and see if we get more sales off of that like Sony did with their games. To me as a gamer, I always love free things. So I hope that this indeed happened for Little Big Planet 2 and Infamous 2. So in the future, we could possibly get more free games from people because I love handouts.
Yeah, and let's see, I had...
I think that's the title of this episode. Handouts are great. There you go.
See, first one, balls are a fun. Second one, handouts are great. I'm sensing a pattern here.
And don't forget the beta episode, Hitler's Xbox.
Yes.
Oh, man. Ouch.
We should post that. We should post that tidbit. That was because comedic gold right there.
Yeah, maybe I'll see if I can. Let's see. I'll see if I can find that, and I'll just tack it on to the end of this episode, just as a freebie.
I have it here if you need it.
Moving along, this is kind of getting out of gaming, directly, but it's sort of related. Did everybody know that there is an Uncharted movie coming out?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I've been following this news for a while.
Yeah. Gamer, I think Gamer response to the direction that the movie was going in was none too pleased because
I wasn't pleased, to say the least.
Wasn't Mark Wahlberg was playing a Nathan Drake?
Yeah, like Max Payne went so well for him to reprise another video game role.
Yeah, because if at first it doesn't work, try it a second time. Just do it harder.
But I admit, Max Payne was tailor-made for Mark Wahlberg, given that Mark Wahlberg is like one of the most serious actors to ever grace the silver screen. So Max Payne wasn't too much of a stretch for him. It's just a script that failed him.
Yeah. And wasn't it, it was Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci had side roles in this movie?
Yeah, supposedly Robert De Niro was going to be Nathan Drake's father somehow. Or something like that. I'm like, wait a minute. That has not been introduced in the games. What the hell are they doing with Nathan Drake?
And I'm guessing that an actor of, say, Robert De Niro's caliber would have a lot of respect for the source material.
Does Robert De Niro have a PlayStation? I was not informed of this.
Robert De Niro does have a PlayStation. He has a few Oscars, which I think gives him lead to say, "I'll do whatever I friggin' feel like."
Well, whatever. It's old news now. A better director's on the scene. Well, not a better director, but somebody more suited for this kind of material.
Yeah, the director's name is Neil Berger. In fact, I'm doing an IMDb search.
I met him not too long ago. He's a cool guy.
Really? Where?
I met him at an advanced screening of Limitless, his last film that he did with Bradley Cooper and Robert De Niro. He did a Q&A after the advanced screening, and he stopped for, autographs and stuff like that, pictures. Cool guy. Very humble. I was impressed by his his personality.
Yeah. I'm looking him up on IMDb right now. If I can scroll down.
He also directed The Illusionist.
Yes,
with
that
Edward
is.
Norton.
Yeah, I think he also wrote that one too.
He did? Oh.
Yep. So he's got 4 films to his name, and now Uncharted. Yeah. Have they said that they are reworking like the script or anything? Oh yeah, I think he is also writing it. So
he's writing it. He pitched like a whole idea to the studio, on his idea of an Uncharted movie, and that's how he got the job as the director for the film.
Yeah.
So again, it could be a good or bad thing. Again, considering that the original pitch for the movie was accepted as well. So, you know, who knows? It could either, you know, go into Super Mario Brothers territory, or, you know, could go into more respectable Mortal Kombat 1 territory. You know, as far as the gauge goes.
If we would call that respectable.
Oh, no, you can't hate on Mortal Kombat.
Well,
we will have some problems.
I am not. I am not. I mean,
considering game adaptations, that's pretty high up there, you know. So
in that pantheon, it might be the first Tomb Raider, then Mortal Kombat, then everything else.
Resident Evil is pretty good.
Resident Evil is good if you don't count it as Resident Evil. If you just see it as a regular zombie movie, it's great. But if you just see it,
I'm not too familiar with the game itself, so
yeah. If you look, that's probably why you like it. I like it too. I enjoy it. You know, it's a really dumb popcorn movie, but it's fun.
And but Hitman, I enjoyed Hitman as well.
I'll just stay quiet on that one.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But yeah, I hope Neil Berger taps Bradley Cooper for this movie. I can envision him as Nathan Drake with the proper haircut.
There's a lot of people saying him. A lot of people saying Jensen Ackles from Supernatural, that they want him to be Nathan Drake as well.
Who? I've never heard of this man.
Jensen Ackles. He's on that CW show, Supernatural.
I didn't even know CW was still on the air.
oh yeah. Those tweens love it.
Yeah, but for me, I think Nathan Drake would be, you know, Bradley Cooper or Ryan Reynolds, in my opinion. I think those two, or even Chris Evans, I think those three would be really good for Nathan Drake.
Although everybody that I talk to online has been saying Nathan Fillion.
Oh,
Brown
yeah.
Coats, baby.
Yeah, he would be perfect for it, but he's not much of a box office draw, though, so I don't think he would get it.
Yeah.
That's true, but he has such a rabid fan base that they would, you know, go to the movie in droves anyways. And again, it would definitely help for the online word of mouth, because again, anything Nathan Fillion does.
Yes, internet word of mouth has worked so well. Just look at Snakes on the Plane.
Yeah. Yeah. For that movie.
Yeah, it was a box office smash hit.
I have had it with these snakes on this plane.
That's the entire movie.
Let me tell you, I don't know about any of you guys, but I actually went to see it in theaters for the premiere. And it was probably right up there with one of my best experiences. Not because the movie was any good, but it's just the crowd was so. It was like being at a frat house party. You know, people were just hooting and hollering and just, you know, giving standing ovations for the most random thing. You know, it was awesome. Like beach balls are being tossed in this dark ass room. It was awesome.
I enjoyed the movie very much myself, but I'm just saying in terms of its success, it wasn't too high up there.
Yeah, but again, that's Snakes on a Plane, and then there's Firefly. So the whole other pantheon.
All right. So the last story that I want to get into before we move into the quick shots segment, Ken Levine, he of Irrational Games fame, has announced and he's given the first details on a BioShock game for the PS Vita.
Yay!
Now this is not a port. This is not a redoing of any other game. This is a completely new game for this console.
I am so excited. I can't hide it. Yeah.
Meaning that it will be on PS Vita for a year, then it'll end up on PS3 and 360 the following year. So, I mean, that's kind of the way I see it going. No matter how big you think a portable is going to be, you're gonna always want to bring it out to the console crowd as well. So,
yeah, I mean, and there are a few games that are doing that. I think that while we have the example of a Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, that was for the PSP, and now it's being released for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 as part of the Metal Gear Solid bundle.
Yep.
What?
Yes, sir.
For the 360 as well?
Yep.
Yeah, and then 360 is also getting Snake Eater as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, again, Ken Levine's done a great job with the first BioShock, which
that's debatable.
shocked.
What?
Well, it shocked the majority of the gamers out there.
I do not like BioShock. That to me, that is the most overrated franchise ever graced the game, right next to Final Fantasy. I said it.
Well, you can address all hate mail too.
No, I got a personal hate mail address. It's at You can send all your hate mail to fuidc@lol.com. I'll be waiting for your emails.
Yeah, remember how I was saying earlier how the Firefly fans are very passionate? Final Fantasy, even more. So, ouch.
Yeah,
but again,
don't
I
mess
mean,
with me. I
BioShock-
can assure you, their fantasies will be the last ones they'll ever have. Hell yeah.
Oh wow, good.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, but whatever. Moving on.
I think this. Oh, come on. Where is it? Where? There it is.
Yeah, there you go. I mean,
Better late
look,
than never.
Yeah.
in regards to the PS Vita, it would be interesting to see how this game works out. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
you can kind of see the potential there. With that, the rear touch screen. Though, I can see it right now as a way of working the plasmids, maybe. Cycling through your plasmids or something like that. So long as it's not too gimmicky and doesn't rely on, all the features of the PS Vita.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be good. I mean, who's to say, if it'll go back to Rapture or if it'll be in Columbia or if it'll be something else entirely.
Yeah, and what gives me hope is that this is Irrational Games. These are the people who made the original BioShock, and they're also making BioShock Infinite. So it's not like when 2K Games got in, they just farmed it out to somebody to make a quick cash-in sequel and of dubious quality. So these people really care about the story, and they might have something good on their hands. But we don't know. We'll see if the... What? Okay, I just had a little bit of a panic attack there. Now, all right. Now, for people who aren't in the room with us, we are recording this using Skype, and I've got a program running called Audio Hijack Pro. And I just saw a little bounce icon on my dock, and I thought, oh my God, I just lost an hour's worth of audio. We got to go back and redo it. Something went wrong. And nope, I just got a little component here that needs to be updated. So just thought I would let you know while you are recording.
Wait, so we have to restart?
No, we don't. No. That crisis is averted. So let me just call okay, me. So this is me to the people who make Audio Hijack Pro. F you. You just made me panic, and we just stopped the entire show for absolutely no reason. So thank you, everybody. All right, so moving on from that near disaster, on to the quick shot segment. These are news stories that don't require a whole lot of explanation. They're just really quick. We'll hopefully breeze through them because we are running way late.
You're going to Febreze the crap out of these.
Yeah, we have the Xbox 360 will have a music download service, which my thoughts exactly. Let's see, you have Amazon, you have iTunes, you have, well, like right now, Spotify has been coming, that just launched in the U.S. People have been waiting for that. And the thing is, it carries the Gazoon branding, which is worth its weight in dog crap right now.
Yeah, the Zune HD was awesome, man. It's just that Microsoft didn't support it right.
Yeah, and
Pretty
that's
much.
not, that isn't knocking any of the hardware. The hardware for the Zune HD was awesome, but it didn't get pushed, and it had great, working with the Xbox 360. It's just nobody cared.
I believe this article was actually debunking that rumor. The original rumor was that there was going to be a service called Xbox Music, which would replace the currently existing Zune Marketplace.
Yeah.
But in actuality, the Xbox Music is not happening at all. So the Zune Marketplace will continue to function just as it always has. It's just a debunked rumor. That's all.
Either way, it's a...
Yeah, I mean, for the people who like, downloading tunes or whatever, I suppose, having it on a console is a nice little feature. But it's not anything at the end of the day that's going to be make or break, you know?
Very true. The next story we have up, and this is a really cute one if you're a fan of the Comedy Central show South Park. You might remember that a few years ago, Microsoft Game Studios had an Xbox Live exclusive title called Let's Go Tower Defense Play. That was exclusive to the Xbox, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there are reports coming out, especially from G4 TV's The Feed, that Microsoft Game Studios will have another exclusive South Park game coming out to their console. The writer for this article that I'm quoting, Adam Rosenberg, and I'm not sure if he says this in jest, suggests that they remake the previously Nintendo 64 exclusive, the first South Park game.
I second that motion.
That was a really fun game, but since it was on the Nintendo, that was a fun game. But obviously, it had downgraded graphics, and they couldn't curse in it because it was for Nintendo. I mean, the South Park brand, you could do almost anything with it. So we could have a South Park racing. We could have a South Park racing game. Or they could have done the other South Park game that was released, I think, for the PlayStation, which was a Chef's Love Shack.
Don't remember that one.
Yeah, that one was horrible. Yeah.
That was a Mario Party style game. It was like Mario Party mixed with a game show.
Oh, I don't like those kind of Mario Party things.
There actually was a racing game, if I remember correctly. I think for Dreamcast there was one. I think it was just called Rally Race, South Park Rally Race.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that didn't do so hot either. But, I mean, again, like you said, South Park is a big brand. Even after all these years, people like it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, again, it could be anything. It could be South Park Tetris. Could be South Park Angry Birds. Angry Kenny. You know? I don't know, just fling Kennys across. You know, it could be anything. So, I mean, again, it'll sell. I doubt it'll be a huge sales numbers, but, you know, again, it has its niche market base, so it'll be.
I think they should do a GTA parody where you're Cartman and you're just arresting people.
You will respect my authority.
Exactly. I'd buy that.
See you guys and get him.
Hell yeah.
All right, so the next quick shot coming up comes from Sega. Sega posted on their blog recently a 3D rendering of one of the villains that you will be facing in the upcoming Sonic Generations game, Metal Sonic. This is the first time we've seen Metal Sonic in a while, I think, and what was his first appearance? That was on the Sega CD, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Sonic CD, yeah. A lot of people mistake it for Sonic 2, but actually the villain you find in Sonic 2 is just Robot Sonic. I don't think he has an official name, but a lot of people assumed he was Metal Sonic, but I guess when Sonic CD came out, they made him into his own unique, separate character. Right.
That was like a Metal Sonic beta.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And we have some artwork for it, and we'll probably take a link for this when we put the podcast up. But it's a nice little 3D rendering of a Metal Sonic that kind of looks like old school Sonic the Hedgehog. So that's kind of cool. We also have a few screenshots of some updated levels, levels that kind of look like they were from Sonic's past. Should anybody have played that 20-day demo of Sonic Generations that came out a few weeks back, that was a 3D rendering of the
Green Hill Zone. Yep.
Yeah, the Green Hill Zone. Looks like they're doing a few other.
Yeah, there's actually a Chemical Plant Zone from Sonic 2, which was actually the second stage. Mm-hmm. And also Stardust Speedway, which is from Sonic CD. So. Obviously, Sega's catering to the hardcore Sonic crowd. This is obviously a step in the right direction.
And I think you mean to tell me midway through Sonic Generations I will not have the opportunity to play as a 7-foot purple cat who likes to fish?
Hey, Froggy. Hey, where's Froggy? I'm looking for Froggy.
Blasphemy, man.
Hey, Big the Cat was awesome in his own weird, wacky way, all right?
Yeah, for a separate game, but not in a Sonic game. I was pissed.
And they never brought him back.
Good. Like, what the hell?
Oh, they did, actually. They did. They brought him back for Sonic Heroes on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
But nobody bought that.
I did. So I'm
Okay,
that one person.
One
Yeah.
person.
Which coincidentally was the return of Metal Sonic at that time.
Yeah.
They brought him back. He was actually the secret final boss if you could actually unlock him.
So if we're keeping track at home, folks, Aldo's playing Sonic Heroes and not playing Angry Birds.
Hey, well,
It's a direct 1-to-1 ratio there.
yep.
This man does not have his priorities straight.
Hey, I'll admit I'm a Sega fanboy. Been ever since I was a kid. You know, preferred
Mhm.
Sega over Nintendo. Because remember, Genesis does what Nintendo don't. All right? So remember that.
We certainly will. The next quick shot I have, this is kind of a
Public service announcement.
Yes, that is true. The Uncharted 3 beta, which this is probably the first time you've heard us talking about it since we had mentioned Jordan's problems with it previously on the beta episode.
Yes, it was on the beta episode that nobody heard.
Yeah, so definitely the first time you've heard us talking about it, and how fitting because on July 15th, the beta episode or the beta period for Uncharted 3 will close. By the time you hear this, this will be totally moot, so you can disregard it. But still, we thought we should mention Uncharted 3 beta. We hardly knew ye.
Yeah, the Uncharted 3 beta died long ago for me, man. I was only able to connect to that thing like twice. I've since deleted it. I'll wait for the official game.
And in slightly similar news, the beta period for Call of Duty Elite, the premium service,
Period.
giggity, that has started today. And
I signed up for this like 2 months ago when they first announced it. Haven't received an email.
yeah, it's apparently by the work of Beachhead Studios, built a social network around it, and it will link up with Call of Duty Black Ops. And the full version will be launched alongside Modern Warfare 3. So if anybody out there wants to get in on it, you now have the capability. Let us know what you think. So that does it for the quick shots. Now we're going to get into some more of like comments and op-ed. So we'll start. Let's see what's on the agenda. The first one is our impressions of the Arkham City Riddler trailer, which released, 2 days back?
Yes, this week sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on
Fairly
Tuesday.
recent.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, and I've been following, because, I follow the Arkham City News Twitter feed, and they've been just releasing a bunch of this, cryptic stuff. And I since stopped trying to decipher it because it takes a wiser man than I. But it eventually led up to the release of a trailer for the Riddler, making a return as yet another villain in Batman Arkham City. So let's count now. We have
Catwoman.
We have a Catwoman, Two-Face, Penguin, Joker, Riddler, Hugo Strange. Is Clayface coming back? I don't know.
He had a little quick cameo in the first game, but they haven't said that. I know they're rumoring Raj Al Ghul may have an appearance.
Yeah, I think that isn't
actually,
Natalia supposed to be in Natalia Al Ghul.
Yeah, I believe so. Even though Raj Al Ghul had a cameo in the first game as well, I'm not sure if people picked up on it. It was a very you had to have a keen eye for it. Pretty cool though.
Let's see. I'm on the Wikipedia. As far as the villains go, yeah, you have the Joker, Poison Ivy's back, Harley Quinn's back, Catwoman, and as we already said, the Riddler, Hugo Strange, Mr. Freeze, Two-Face, Victor Zsasz, Calendar Man, and the Penguin, and also Black Mask is going to be in.
Ah.
Wow, that's going to be like a 34-hour game.
Even though Black Mask and Calendar Man were in the first game as well, just Easter eggs, but they were in there.
Yeah, and these will probably have the same thing. And what we're going to do right now is I'm going to play you a little bit of audio from the trailer, because even though it's a very visual trailer and everybody should go onto the YouTubes and find it, I think that the audio kind of stands alone in some areas. So without further ado, here's the audio for the Arkham City trailer.
this.
I know you work for Riddler.
Don't hurt me. I'll tell you everything.
These challenges are far beyond a mind such as yours, Batman.
Let them go, Riddler. They're innocent.
You may as well just turn back now. Do you admit that I am smarter than a bat? You are all experiencing fear in anticipation of some specific pain or danger. This is perfectly understandable. Are you ready for some more? Explore! 5 life challenges! And when you fail to solve them and lie blubbering like an ignorant child on the floor, you will know that the Riddler is better than you.
So now that everybody's heard it, what do you think about it?
That was the most impressive audio I've ever heard in my life. I think I my pants.
Oh, I don't think we can say that.
I just said it, so
he's pushing the boundaries, man. He's doing it.
That's right. I'm rated R.
You can't say that. This is the internet.
The internet consume me. Again, director hate mail to fuidc@lol.com.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just say quickly, it was a nice teaser, but at the same time, it felt a little too Saw-ish.
Yeah, definitely.
There's nothing wrong with Saw. That's the greatest horror franchise known to man.
Do you want to play a game, Batman?
Hell yeah, I would.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering the way Riddler was portrayed in the first game, he was very, he was a smartass. He was very tongue-in-cheek with his clues and whatnot. You never really felt threatened by him, which was funny. It was, it was fun to find all, his clues and whatever. But now here they kind of did a 180, and now he seems very sinister, seems very dark, very
they
twisted.
made him into Jigsaw.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm hoping that this was just done for dramatic effect, just to hype people up. But I'm kind of hoping he'll stay the way he was in the first game.
Well, he ought to. But if you take a look at that trailer, I think that the Riddler is going to turn into Arkham City's version of. Pardon me, of the Scarecrow.
Spoiler alert.
Well, not really. Not really.
Thank you. But that will be the one level out of the entire game that everybody talks about, because those Scarecrow levels in Arkham Asylum were some of the best mind-effery I've ever seen since the first Fear game.
So just a quick question. Have any of you guys, when playing the original Arkham Asylum, did you get all the Riddler challenges?
I did.
No, I'm still in the middle of the game.
Well, not to spoil anything, but you get a specific special. You find out something about the Riddler once you get all the challenges. So I'm just curious to see if that specific ending, since it wasn't really canon, you had to go out of your way to find all the challenges. I wonder if they'll reference that in this game. What happened to Riddler?
But doesn't Arkham City take place months, if not years, after the events of Arkham Asylum?
Yeah.
Then why would they want to? Would they have a section of the game like, hey, Robin, do you remember what happened years back?
Yeah.
Robin wasn't even in the first game that
Thankfully,
I know of.
Holy flashback, Batman.
I was in the back.
I was working on my tumbles. Yeah, being the good sidekick I am. I was knitting your bat cave, Batman.
I was helping Alfred with tea.
Okay. Moving along, because we are running way, way, way over. What are we playing so far?
Well, this week, all I've touched is Modern Warfare 2. That is it. I've been having a very, very twitchy killer finger this week. Yes. I almost got a nuke, too, this week, so I was almost happy.
Okay.
I've never had that elusive nuke, but again, I haven't played Call of Duty online in so long, so...
I've had a few of those.
Did you actually break into a Fallout New Vegas since you bought it brand new for $5?
Yes, after last week's podcast, I put it in for a few minutes, got bored, took it out, and Modern Warfare 2's been in my Xbox ever since. I got one achievement though, so that was cool.
I'm guessing it is the one for like creating a character.
I think it is. It's like I didn't get the achievement notice until I like opened a door for the first time.
But, congratulations, you are mobile.
Yeah.
I think that was the one. Yeah. Then after that, I got lost, and I was like, whatever. It was only $5, so not too upset about it.
Help me! This is a really big desert. I don't know where the F I'm going.
Exactly. I almost pulled out the game facts for that game. Almost did.
Blasphemy.
But thank goodness I didn't.
Okay. I've been playing a lot of Portal 2 co-op. I think a relative of a coworker, I think she had messaged me on Facebook asking if I was available to go play some co-op, and I hadn't finished the game, and I wanted to go play. And my girlfriend still hasn't gotten back to me on that. Tick tick tick.
Even after that beautiful, heart-wrenching proposal you gave. Oh my God! Wow.
Wait, you haven't talked to her in over a week?
No, I have talked to her. She just hasn't brought it up.
She's been actively avoiding him like the plague.
Maybe she's playing hard to co-op. Gotta tell her.
That is our other show title.
There we go. That's better. Hard to co-op.
Yeah, but I think I had gotten roped into doing and to not just playing co-op just for the sake of playing co-op, but I found myself roped into a achievement run. Where like, she was asking me to do these really weird things. I had to go gesture a few times. And
whoa!
Almost felt like I was in.
Care to edit that a little bit?
Kind of felt like that's it's like, okay, do the okay. Say okay, go there, press that button, do this, say this. Am I playing co-op or am I calling like a 900 number?
She wanted a GLaDOS and companion cube, buddy.
Oh. You're doing very well.
Oh man,
I'm shooting blanks.
Yeah.
Shooting blanks here.
I'm not defective. Ah, crap.
You know, on a little aside, I don't know about you guys, but the defective turrets always reminded me of Steve Buscemi for some reason.
Oh, wow. I can kind of see that.
Got that Steve Buscemi vibe. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Who would the Space Corps be?
Oh, wow. Quentin Tarantino. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be true.
Because, you know, he's, Kill Bill. Yeah, Kill Bill's an amazing movie. Yeah, you know, from Dust Till Dawn. Yeah, it's very spacey. Funny guy.
Nobody's spacier than Kevin Spacey. I'll tell you that right now.
K-Pax, baby. Oh, yeah.
That movie sucked.
But it's the one about him in space. So
It still sucked.
You know, K-Pax was a good movie. It's just if you were expecting what the trailers showed you, then yeah, you'd be pissed off.
I didn't see any trailers for it, and I still didn't like it.
Go in space. Go in there.
Oh, well.
Gotta go. Space. Going. Better buy a
Different
So
strokes.
yeah, what are you playing this week?
Gonna be in space.
It's actually been quite a few games. As Chris mentioned before, I sat down, plopped through, and beat Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh yeah.
Beat that. Also, the new LA Noire Reefer Madness case, which came out this week. I went through, beat that, so now I have all 1,400 achievement points for that game. All good to go there. I'm probably later tonight going to install Back to the Future Episode 5 and finish that. And usually every couple days I tend to play Team Fortress 2. So that's pretty much me for now. You know?
Yay!
Yeah, quite a little variety going on.
Yeah, and let's see, and I've been meaning to ask this, like I've heard that the ending to a Duke Nukem Forever wasn't that hot.
Don't spoil it.
We are not spoiling anything. I just heard that the ending to Duke Nukem Forever wasn't that hot.
Well, it's funny because I guess you can say there's two endings. There's the one proper ending that happens after you beat the final level. But there's also something that happens after the credits, if you stick around after the credits.
I have to stick around after the credits. There's a trophy if you do.
Yeah,
space.
there is. Yeah, space. I mean, again, it depends on what you're expecting. If you're even playing Duke Nukem Forever with the thought that you're going to be playing some mind-blowing, change your life kind of game, then yeah, it's going to disappoint you. But if you know going in that it's Duke Nukem and the majority of what he talks about are tits and balls and beer and booze and babes, then yeah, it's very tongue in cheek with that. It's not anything deep, but it's funny if you find Duke Nukem humor funny.
Hell yeah, tits are delicious.
I mean, I will say
I'm not putting that as the show title.
I'll just say that the ending it's a parody of a very popular game. It makes fun of a popular game.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm almost done with Duke Nukem myself. I'm like 2 boss levels away from beating it. It's just that Modern Warfare 2 has been distracting me, as always, for the past 3 years.
It gets better. It gets better as you progress in the game. The levels become much more bearable. I didn't find it, that torturous, except for one level later on in the game. Towards the end, there's this underwater level, which is a pain in the ass. It's completely out of the mechanics are just horrible. But
usually, underwater levels always suck.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the only time it ever really worked was never. So
exactly.
And actually, to add on to that, here's an extra news story. I think that the sales numbers for the month of June just came out, and topping it was, of course, L.A. Noire for the second month in a row, I think. And right behind it was a Duke Nukem Forever. I'm trying to see if I can pull up exact numbers. Because the site that I'm looking at has on the charts Super Mario Brothers.
Wow, that's still.
And I'm talking about Super Mario Brothers 1. So I gotta see if. I think this is all-time sales. This is all-time sales.
Yeah, wrong chart, dude.
Well, yeah, Duke Nukem Forever is not going to be in that chart. So
right. Actually, this is a really good. This is kind of an interesting game. What do you think is the best-selling game worldwide of all time?
Of all time?
Of all time.
I would have to say
Wii Sports.
Tetris.
Let's see, Tetris.
Well, then again, Tetris has had so many iterations, though. But
Wii Sports. First Wii Sports.
Well, I don't even know if that would count, though, because, again, it was a pack-in game, right? So it's not like...
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's the best-selling game.
So,
like, how many Wii's have been sold? And how many sports
games
have been sold with it?
I'm not sure if that would count as a sale, though. I mean, considering it's just an attachment to the console, But
if I was Nintendo, I would count it for bragging rights.
I don't know. I know Super Mario Brothers 3 was high on the list for a while for the NES, but I'm sure it's been eclipsed. Probably Modern Warfare 2.
So that's what you're saying?
I guess, yeah.
Modern Warfare 2, if I can find it on this chart.
Top 30, probably.
Let's see if I can. Well, let me do a quick Modern Warfare 2 top 30, number 29 with 12.5 million copies worldwide. See, Super Mario 3, let's see, where was that? Super Mario 3, and of course, and I should say, my source is VG Charts with a Z, which doesn't help its credibility at all, but hey.
They're pretty credible, though. A lot of people tend to use them, even a lot of industry folk. So
yeah. Super Mario Brothers 3, 17.28 million worldwide.
What position is that?
Let's see, position, where was it? Super Mario 3 was number 21.
21, wow.
Which means that Super Mario 3 is now legal till I go out and get drunk. But Number one with let's see the number 77.26 million. Jordan, Wii Sports.
I told you. What did I win, Woody?
You win the end of the episode because we are an hour and 10 minutes in, and it's time to go. So thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Aldo. And thank you, everybody, for downloading this episode. It's been a whole lot of fun, and we will be here next week with a brand new one. You can find me on Twitter at Chris. Actually, no, that is completely different. I just recently changed my Twitter profile, went through like a Doctor Who type of a regeneration. I am now just Chris Wood. And that's my Twitter handle, just Chris Wood. I'm on Google Plus as well, so if anybody out there wants an invite, you can get onto Twitter and request an invite from me. I'm on Facebook. You can probably find me fairly easily. So how do we find you guys?
Well, they can find me at The Real EliRey, Twitter.com, and they can also follow me on YouTube at youtube.com/EliRey. That's ELIREY. Why?
That's my fault. I know.
It's forgiven.
I'm Mr. Typo. What can I say?
All right. Well, I guess you can follow me on Twitter as well. I'm at ShinBojack. I tend to keep that name everywhere, but it's been a while. I mean, I've had that name since I was beta testing the old Xbox Live for the old Xbox. So it's old.
Yeah, unlike some of us who change our screen names every 5 minutes. But for a screen name that will never change, you can find us at EmpireStateGamer.com and our Twitter handle, EmpireStateGamer, gamer spelled GAMR. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter, too. Just do a search. You'll find us just about anywhere. And thank you for being with us for the second episode of the ESGamer Station. Time for some music now. We're going to leave you with T.I. Blasta Party from the artist Taysir from the game Blaster Master. This is the first area of the game, I believe, which, again, Aldo picked this. Thank you once again. We'll see you next time on the ESGamer Station. This is Chris Wood.
And I'm EliRey.
And I'm Aldo.
And we are out of here. Thank you so much for downloading. We'll see you next time.
You know, it all starts at home. You know, it's not the media, it's not the game, it's not the books, it's the parenting.
Yeah. And, of course, like, sadly, crazy, screwed up people are going to always find a way to break our hearts. It's just a fact. Every now and then something horrible is going to happen.
Yeah, crazy people will always do crazy things, you know. It's not always dictated by, you know, media. It's not always the case. Mm-hmm. You know, granted, there are some, you know, people that are mentally ill that, you know, do things in the name of media or religion, but that's them because they have, you know, mental issues, you know. Not everything is dictated by what they consume as consumers. You know, if that were the case, then we have to ask, what was in Hitler's Xbox? What was that guy playing? You know? You know, people are just crazy sometimes, you know?
Radio ESG, beta episode 1, titled, What Was in Hitler's Xbox? Okay, on that note, I don't think I can top that. Let's move on.